Good morning, everybody. Joel here. Going to be reading from Luke 23 today and Spurgeon's commentary on it. Luke 23:26. On him they laid the cross, that he might bear it after Jesus. This is referring to Simon of Cyrene, who was coming in from the country, and Jesus was having, because of all the beatings and stuff that he'd had on him, could not carry the cross by himself or was having trouble with it. And so they grabbed a random guy from the crowd named Simon and had him carry the cross for Jesus. Let's continue from Spurgeon. We see in Simon's carrying the cross a picture of the work of the church throughout all generations. She is the cross bearer after Jesus. Mark them, Christian. Jesus does not suffer so as to exclude your suffering. He bears a cross not that you may escape it, but that you may endure it. Christ exempts you from sin, but not from sorrow. Remember that and expect to suffer. But let us comfort ourselves with this thought, and that in our case, as in Simon's, it is not our cross, but Christ's cross, which we carry. When you are molested for your piety, when your religion brings the trial of cruel mockings upon you, then remember it is not your cross. It is Christ's cross. And how delightful it is to carry the cross of our Lord Jesus. You carry the cross after him. You have blessed company. Your path is marked with the footprints of your Lord. The mark of his blood-red shoulder is upon that heavy burden. 'Tis his cross. And he goes before you as a shepherd goes before his sheep. Take up your cross daily and follow him. Do not forget also that you bear this cross in partnership. It is the opinion of some that Simon only carried one end of the cross, not the whole of it. That is very possible. Christ may have carried the heavier part against the transversive beam, and Simon may have borne the lighter end. Certainly it is so with you. You do but carry the light end of the cross. Christ bore the heavier end. And remember, though Simon had to bear the cross for a very little while, it gave him lasting honor. Even so, the cross we carry is only for a little while at most, and then we shall receive the crown, the glory. Surely we should love the cross, and instead of shrinking from it, count it very dear, when it works out for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory. Jesus never said this life was going to be easy. We, in the United States, are not as used to persecution for our faith as in other countries. We are not generally in danger of being killed for our beliefs. The most that we usually, and I say usually, have to endure is ridicule from our coworkers or from those on the street if we try to express our beliefs. That is a very small price to pay for serving the Lord. And I think there's also an element in this story about the cross that we need to, that there are going to be burdens and sufferings and trials that come upon us that may have nothing to do with us proclaiming our faith for the Lord. There are just circumstances in the world, in our lives, that we have to suffer through, trials that we have to suffer through. And we need to remember that God gave us forgiveness from sins, but not freedom from suffering and not freedom from all trials, the hardships of this world. It is his sacrifice on the cross that frees us from sin. However, we are going to have trouble in this world. Until we are raised up at the end and see him again in glory, we're going to have trouble. But we need to keep going. We need to keep moving. We need to carry that cross, whatever that cross may be in your situation, whether you're in another country and you are being persecuted for your beliefs, or whether you're going to work and you get ridiculed for being a Christian or for expressing your beliefs. Or if you are just having a hard day and not being able, having a hard time just moving forward with your life, God is there with you, leading the way. You can follow in his footsteps. As a child following their father in the sand can see their footsteps. I hope you see the footsteps of God in your life and know that he is going before you and supporting one end of that cross for you and carrying you and helping you. I pray that you feel God's presence in your life and you're able to bear that cross. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.